One Zambia, one nation. This is Zanis News. To present, my name is Henry Himonde. A look at the top stories in our news. Low literacy levels in primary schools worry government. Drug Enforcement Commission trains young people in dangers of drug abuse and money laundering. And DMMU to enhance partnership with mining firms. And Augustine Mulenga joins NAPSA Stars. Zanis News in detail. Southern Province Permanent Secretary Yolanta Mutiambe has bemoaned the low literacy levels being recorded in primary schools in the province. A directive has since been issued to the Ministry of Education in the province to find urgent solutions to the continued low literacy levels.
The ability to read and write is considered a solid foundation in enhancing literacy levels for school-going children in public schools. However, despite various government interventions, among them the recruitment of teaching staff, increased government funding to public schools, and the reintroduction of the free education policy, literacy levels among school-going children at primary school level in Southern Province remains low, and government wants this situation urgently addressed.
PO mentioned about Southern Province being always on top at grade 12 level. The reason simply is because those girls, they are not drawn from the province, because at grade 7 level, we don't have, the performance is very bad. So I always say my wish, even the wish of government is that why don't we improve the literacy levels, even the reading culture.
The Ministry of Education in the province has pledged to ensure literacy levels improve.
At grade 7 out of 10 provinces, we are number 10. The reason is that the literacy levels in the province are very low, especially from primary. Out of 545,716 primary pupils from grade 1 up to grade 7, only 163,714 are able to read. So we abrogated the curriculum which had been given to us by the Ministry of Education. We say grade 1 up to grade 4, shelve all these other subjects for 2 months and concentrate on literacy.
A non-governmental organization, National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, wants increased investment in the education sector.
We desire to see more desks in schools, more books, more computers, more classrooms, and more houses for teachers. These critical items will not come at once, but there must be great financial investment in the sector for progress to be made.
Liseli Muche, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
And in Western Province, government has announced plans to construct staff houses for teachers in Limulunga District using the Constituency Development Fund. Acting Limulunga District Commissioner Siveso Silumesi says government will build the staff houses with support from cooperating partners. Details in the following report.
They are the mother of all professions. Teachers have always played an integral role in society of impacting knowledge and skill to promote development. It is for this reason that government will construct staff accommodation and classrooms to motivate teachers in the delivery of quality education.
It is now reality that our newly recruited teachers are in schools where their services are very much needed. This has come with its own challenges, such as lack of staff accommodation and classroom space. We acknowledge the challenge. However, the government of His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is equal to the task and hopes to construct houses for our teachers using CDF and also utilizing support from cooperating partners. Your government has a vision to grow this economy and as teachers, you are valued partners. It's my hope that as teachers, you will with immediate effect do things differently. Ladies and gentlemen, as government, we are in a hurry to change the way things were being done in education.
Meanwhile, Basic Education Teachers Union of Zambia, BETUZ, who commended government for recruiting over 30,000 teachers, said there was a need to address challenges teachers face.
The employment of over 30,000 teachers has come as a dream come true to us as teachers because we had pressure due to the increase in learner population, which came as a result of implementing the free education policy, which our government must be commended for. Allow me to further add that for education to be a true equalizer, it must be driven by well-motivated teachers because they are key in effective education delivery. In other words, there can be no meaningful transformation to education sector if the teachers are left behind and not put at the center of the process.
And pupils in Limulunga district have applauded teachers for their steadfast commitment to nurture learners.
Teachers are the best. You know, from our very childhood, teachers are the ones that have taught us everything, even English, everything. So even the government should increase the teacher's salary. I learned a lot in school. Without teachers, I was not going to learn anything. So a teacher is a role model in terms of having a good life.
Teachers have been commemorating their colorful day since 1994. However, it came to a halt for the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The commemoration was themed Transformation of Education Begins with Teachers. Stella Goma reporting for Zanis in Limulunga, Western Province.
In Northwestern Province, Mwinilunga District Health Director Brian Mwachisowa has appealed to government to complete the construction of the district hospital, which has stalled for over 5 years. Dr. Mwachisowa says once complete, the hospital will address overcrowding and improve on the provision of quality health care. He says Mwinilunga District Hospital was built before independence, adding that the population has since grown to over 165,000. Dr. Mwachisowa has revealed that the Stord District Hospital had reached a structural stage of 45%.
This is a modern hospital. This infrastructure has stood for more than 5 years now. And you can see the level at which it is. This is the hospital that is supposed to serve Mwinilunga community. The district hospital that is operating now, catering a population of 160, that's head count, 160,000 people, against a very small hospital. This is a hospital that is supposed to cater for that population. That is supposed to be an urban clinic. It is just the final touches, and then this hospital becomes operational. I'm sure that the community here will be very happy to have this hospital completed and begins to serve the people. I think that is what we wanted to appeal, even to the President himself, His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. This hospital requires an urgent attention because the population has grown 5 times than I think at the time that the district hospital was constructed. The patient, we're supposed to admit people here. We're supposed to be offering also outpatient services within here, ART services within here. So it's a full package in short, you know, and that's the reason why we're appealing that this hospital should be completed as quickly as possible.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, is training young people in Mumba District, Central Province, on the dangers of narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances, and money laundering. DEC Central Province Regional Commander Don't Kanyanga says the program, which is the first of its kind, is expected to create a safe and conducive social environment in communities. Kruger Siankulu brings us more in the following report.
Drug abuse, especially among the young people, has dire consequences on the future of this country. It is against this background that the Drug Enforcement Commission has partnered with the Zambia Scouts Association and has since embarked on adolescent peer education training in Mumbwa district. Donti Kanyanga is Drug Enforcement Commission Central Province Regional Commander.
This training program is the first one in Mumbwa. We are doing it in conjunction with the Zambia Scouts Association based here in Mumbwa district. We believe that with this organization and its influence, information on drug abuse and on the effects of drug abuse, money laundering and other issues can easily be taken up by them and be disseminated to the society.
Zambia Scouts Association Assistant Commissioner Gift Hikaumba now shares his thoughts about the capacity building program for the peers.
We help our members to be more effective as we begin to implement our projects to sensitize the young people in schools and in other communities on the dangers and effects of drug abuse.
Drug Enforcement Commission Head of Education and Counseling now gives the objectives of the training.
Drug Enforcement Commission and its mandate, we also looked at the overview of the drug situation here in Zambia, where we are as a nation in terms of drug and substance abuse and trafficking and money laundering.
Peggy Muka is one of the participants.
I'm happy to be in this group because I've learned a lot. Yeah, so that I can help other people who are suffering from drug addiction out there. Yeah.
Krugas Yankuru, Zanis, Mumbwa.
Now, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mlenga says there's been an increase in the demand for business regulatory services following the upward adjustment of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Mr. Mlenga says a number of business owners want to formalize their enterprises in order to participate in the execution of local projects under CDF. He was speaking in Solwezi when he launched the awareness and sensitization campaign for regulatory services. Mr. Mlenga says government remains committed to supporting businesses by reducing transaction costs and creating an environment that will make businesses flourish. Speaking at the same event, Business Regulatory Review Agency Executive Director Sharon Sichilongo said the Solwezi Regulatory Service Center has serviced more than 1,500 businesses since it opened in May this year.
Develop this country without engaging the local business community to be part of the major players of how business should be done in this country. And it is for this cause that my ministry, through the leadership of my executive director here and her colleague, our staff, that we are coming now to engage you, the public, you, the business community, on how best to be a part and parcel of the pronouncements and policies that the President has made. And this is for this cause that we are here today, to make sure that you understand and be part of the beneficiaries or people that will tap in the benefits of the pronouncements and the policies implemented by the new Dawn government.
I'm pleased to report that from the time the Solwezi Regulatory Services Center was launched in May 2022, more than 1,500 businesses have accessed the services from the center. The target is to have more businesses access the services. Therefore, this sensitization and awareness campaign is intended to inform the business community about the benefits of visiting the center and ultimately reduce informality of businesses in the province.
The social cash transfer program in Muchinga province has continued to record success stories among beneficiaries who are using the bi-monthly payments prudently. Provincial Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule visited some beneficiaries in Chitulika area in Mpika district to assess the impact of the program. Take a look at this report.
The social cash transfer program has changed the livelihood of many who have used the funds properly. In Chitulika area of Mpika district in Mchinga province, a widow of 5 children and 3 dependents, Messi Chanda, explains how she has managed to build a house and start up a chicken business. This came to light when Mchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule visited the area to check on how the social cash transfer funds is being utilized by beneficiaries.
I started with only 25 chickens using social cash transfer money. And my life has since changed. I have connected power to my house. I've built this house through the same money.
Mr. Mkongole, in the company of Mpika District Commissioner David Siame and Provincial Social Welfare Officer Jacob Miti, heard another successful story from Grace Mwewa, also of Chitulika area.
I'm able to make 200 kwacha from the sales at using timber, which I used to make.
Earlier, the PS held a meeting and witnessed how the enumeration exercise of scaling up beneficiaries is being conducted in Mpika and Mchinga province at large, soon after flagging off the exercise.
It's for this reason that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the President of the Republic of Zambia, still remains steadfast and ensure that the social cash transfer program continues to uplift the living standards of the vulnerable people.
Miriam Kwenda reporting in Mpika District, Mchinga Province.
In Lusaka Province, over 900,000 kwacha has been disbursed to women and youths in Mandevu constituency. The empowerment grants under the Constituency Development Fund will benefit 60 youth groups and women cooperatives. Winnie Mwelwa witnessed the event and now reports.
These are beneficiaries of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, for the first and second quarter of 2022 funds in Lusaka's Mandevu constituency. 978,150 kwacha has been disbursed to help women, youth, and cooperative groups undertake various community empowerment projects. Mandevu Member of Parliament Christopher Shakafuswa witnessed the handover of the grants.
The empowerment grants you are receiving today should be seen in the increased income activities, reduced poverty levels, and growth of your various project ventures. What we are giving out today is only for the first and second quarter, and this is the money which is sitting in our account. As you may be aware, CDF is 25.7 million kwacha.
District Administrative Officer Oniu Chia advised beneficiaries to be innovative and use the funds prudently.
I want to urge those who are still doubting this mode of empowerment to take the opportunity, learn from today's beneficiaries. This is an ongoing process, and the beauty is that the government has made it even bigger in 2023.
Beneficiaries express gratitude to government.
We just want to promise our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, that what we have received is not going to be food that we're going to put on the plate, but this is a seed that we are going to plant.
Winnie Mwelwa, Zanis, Lusaka.
Zanis News continues. Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit DMMU National Coordinator Gabriel Pollen says government will continue to enhance collaborations with mining companies to ensure on-site disaster management are integrated into the national agenda. Dr. Pollen says strengthening partnerships with mining firms will help in minimizing and avoiding potential disasters that may arise from mining activities. He also says one of the major issues being drawn from the international platform is how to encourage businesses to consider disaster risks as part of their response portfolio.
The purpose of our visit is to serve a number of objectives. So at the invitation of FQM, we are here in order to assess and explore the opportunities that might be before us between the government and the private sector in terms of disaster risk management. As we're aware, mining activity really underpins the core of Zambia's economic activity. And therefore, disaster risk management features as a fundamental portfolio in mining management, and DMMU holding the mandate of the government through the DMMU 2010 Act gives us the powers to ensure that we coordinate disaster risk management activities across the country, across different sectors. So the invitation was extended to us to explore areas of synergy and opportunity between DMMU and FQM to assess their operations and to ensure that their on-site disaster risk management initiatives are integrated into the kind of national agenda, and we can coordinate with the communities and ensure that we minimize, if not avoid, any potential disasters that might result from the hazards that present themselves due to the mining activity.
The New Dawn government has provided a very enabling environment for the mines, but there's need for us to coordinate and work together when it comes to disaster management issues. So I'd also maybe would like to suggest that if we can have some of the mine management to be part of the committees that are in government, like the district level ones and the provincial ones, so that they come in as ex-officials. There's no we can try to prevent disaster issues if we don't work together. But there's also need for them to ensure that as they prepare to put up these measures, they come all the way to the community which they are actually operating from.
Also in the news, Director in charge of National Guidance and Religious Affairs in the Office of the Vice President, Sande Mwape, has called on traditional leaders in Southern Province to come up with bylaws that will halt early marriages in their chiefdoms. Dr. Mwape said early marriages deprive the girl child of education, adding that it is important for traditional leaders to partner with government in fighting the vice. Details in the following report.
Government is concerned with the deteriorating morality and national values in the country, a problem that has been attributed to the rise in vices such as alcohol abuse and early marriages. Through the Department of National Guidance and Religious Affairs in the Office of the Vice President, a campaign to sensitize traditional leaders in Southern Province is being conducted to help promote morality and national values. Officials from the department have visited Macha Chiefdom in Choma.
Would want to see to it that the girls are given an opportunity to get into school at an equal ratio with the boys. The time is gone that in Chief Macha we should think of girls, they can get married and boys go to school. The honor of the people who are given the authority are the chiefs. Coming out with bylaws that can actually decampaign, hinder, and impede this, we are looking at it that yes, even our policies are going to be achieved.
For Chief Macha, the free education policy is key in ending early marriages.
I totally agree with you. Early marriages should be stopped at all costs. Now that we have got free education, there is no excuse for anybody to say, my child is confined for this, but I have no money. There's nothing. There's no excuse. Chiefs must be given power to get anybody who does not send his child to school. That person must be punished.
And residents here have hailed government for introducing free education, which is not only benefiting young learners, but also enhancing adult literacy.
Abamwe bamagaindi bamwe bali bwetwe bagibona wamba utete kupiruka kujigoro kuli mpindo so bamwe bataye kupiruka mujigoro akutali yawiya bamwe baratali yanjiza as low as grade 4 chobayanda kubamba imaumabo so tupa igurumba kuri ibareri bagisiba president umuzezo muboto ngo bagareta bawuteti kube igwiya iwa free.
Runia Sakala, Zanis, Choma.
Thank you, Runia, for that report. Now, Chief Chamuka of the Lenje people in Central Province has called on government to help traditional leaders enforce bylaws in state land. He says currently traditional leaders can only enforce bylaws within their chiefdom boundaries. Details in the following report.
Chief Chamuka of the Lenje people of Chisamba district in Central Province has been an ambassador for gender-based violence, early child marriages and teen pregnancies, among others. Statistics show that the numbers of these vices in his chiefdom has drastically reduced, while figures at district and national level has continued to rise. The chief has attributed a high number of these cases due to lack of authority for the traditional leaders to enforce the bylaws in state land.
Okay, some people may ask, but the chief is saying no child marriage in the chiefdom. But at the district level, we have got maybe 100, okay, numbers of child marriage. Where are they coming? They are coming from those areas where we do not have authority. We cannot go there. So the issue is to encourage the government, come up with strategies. Okay, I've always talked about this. Come up with strategies on how to combat child marriage, teenage pregnancy, gender-based violence in state land. Okay, where we have got companies, where we have got cities, towns, and so forth.
Chief Chamuka added that he has introduced community punishment in his chiefdom to would-be offenders.
Important. And then for people engaged in these acts are also punished at local level. We have community punishment. We attach the perpetrators to the health center, to the police, and just in the community to do community work for 3 months, 3 up to 6 months, working in the community. So such punishment are a deterrent, okay, to the would-be perpetrators, to encouraging child marriages and so forth.
Director for National Guidance and Religious Affairs, Sande Mwape, explains the importance of upholding national values and principles.
We've been considered in our approach, working closely with all stakeholders. We identified the Royal Highnesses as critical and unique stakeholders in ensuring that the national values and principles reach out to all the Zambians.
For Zanis, I'm Simeon Mbebwe in Chisamba District, Central Province.
In Mchinga Province, a 90-year-old freedom fighter in Chinsali district has appealed to Zambians to safeguard the peace and unity that the country has enjoyed over the years since gaining its independence in 1964. Mukuka Chifwamba says there is need to strengthen national unity in order to grow and develop the country economically. Mr. Chifwamba says Zambians should stand together and develop the nation through its One Zambia, One Nation motto. And another freedom fighter, Kelly Chikoti, recalled that seeking health care services was a challenge in the pre-independence period, as white people were treated with great care in hospitals, while black people received poor medical care. Ms. Chikoti has since urged Zambians to respect the Independence Day, adding that it is a celebration for the struggle that was fought for by the country's forefathers. Zambia will this year celebrate 58 years of independence under the theme Zambia at 58, promoting inclusiveness towards sustainable social and economic recovery.
As the country will celebrate its 58th Independence Day this month on October 24th, freedom fighters and senior citizens in Chinsali share their experiences, which they passed through before the country got independence. A 90-year-old freedom fighter, Mukuka Chifwamba of Chinsali district in Mchinga province, says life was totally different under colonial government.
All the activities concerning money was in the hands of the white people. Education, agriculture, what have you. All these things were under the control of the white man. So the black man, as I am, had no say. And that was before independence. That's when we were under the colonial government. Employment was very minimal for the few educated people.
For Kelly Chikoti, a senior citizen, transport and access to health services was the biggest challenge.
We used to walk long distances to access various medical services. By then, most areas in Chinsali district was a bush. We only had a small clinic where we would access medical services, which was situated at Lubwa Mission.
Meanwhile, senior citizen Agre Musamba has condemned some of the incidences that are currently taking place in the country, such as the 7 dead bodies that were discovered in Nakonde district and the 13 girls that were abducted, saying such things should not be happening as the country celebrates the 58th Independence Day.
That's more than criminal. As I was saying, a Christian nation, such things should not happen. Are we still a Zambia that we knew 58 years after independence? We are ashamed. At least those girls now, finally, they've been freed.
Pamela Inamba reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
And finally, in the news, FAS MTN Super League side Napsa Stars has signed Chipolopolo midfielder Augustine Mlenga on a short-term deal that will see him at the club until mid-season. Mlenga, an exciting winger who is able to play multiple positions in attack, has joined the Pensioners as a free agent to add to Coach Perry Mutapa's attacking options. Mlenga last played for South African Premier Soccer League side Amazulu until July 1st, 2022. The former Super League Player of the Year has also previously turned up for Orlando Pirates after spells with Zanaco Football Club and Nkwazi. Confirming the development, NAPSA Stars Chief Executive Officer Ponga Liwewe says NAPSA Stars is delighted to have on board an experienced player like Mlenga. Meanwhile, Mlenga says he's excited to be part of the NAPSA Stars family. This is according to a statement issued to Zanis Sports by NAPSA Stars Media and Public Relations Officer Gwen Chipasula. That sports item brings us to the end of Zanis News, but before we go away, let's take another look at the top stories. Low literacy levels in primary schools worry government. Drug Enforcement Commission trains young people in dangers of drug abuse and money laundering. Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit to enhance partnership with mining firms. And Augustine Mlenga joins NAPSA Stars. That is all we had packaged for you on Zanis News. Join us again tomorrow at the same time for another bulletin. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Goodbye.